Hello and welcome. This is a continuation of our Fortinet series, and in this video I'm going to show you how to install FortiManager. We already have FortiGate firewall in place. We've configured it. It has one firewall policy that allows internal LAN off to the internet, and I want to install the FortiManager in the LAN. Then we will add that to the fabric when everything is complete. But for now, I've already downloaded the VM image of the FortiManager, and if you want to see how to download, how to register, please see the previous videos in this series. So we have the file already. So if I say open, I already have the file, but there are a number of formats here in different platforms. And again, please see the first video where I discuss how to choose and what documentation to go for. Here we're going to choose the FortiManager VM64, and if I open that, we need to accept the license, continue, and then I will name the machine FortiManager, but I need to change the location where I need to install. I have a file location, so I want to copy the location. I have it here, and that's the location we're going to install the FortiManager. Then we say import. That takes a few seconds. The machine is now loaded. It comes with 4 interfaces. We're going to use only one interface, and we also have high memory here, but this is a lab. You can reduce to 8 if you want to, and I need to connect this one to my local LAN, which is VMnet 1, and the rest I'm going to disable them because I will not be using them. So this is disconnected, and the rest I will leave them as they are. So we say OK. So the machine is ready. We need to start it now. Before that, I need to put it in this folder so that everything is in the same place. Then that boot takes a bit of a time. I'm going to pause the recording and start when it's complete. Okay, this took really long, about 15 minutes. It's ready now. We can log in. So the username is admin, but it doesn't have password when you first install it. So we click enter, and it takes us to create a new password. So let me create a new password. Okay, the new password is created, and you see this is the default name, and we're going to change the system name. So if we go to config system global, then we can change the host name. So set host name, and then this is FortiManager. Of course, if you have domain name, or if you have FortiManager with numbers and things like that, you can do this. The lab and the machine name will be FortiManager, and that's it. So this is configured. So the machine name is now configured. We need to see what's configured in the interfaces, and if we say show system interface, if we do that, and let's say interface port 1. Now port 1 is configured as DHCP, and we need to provide a static IP. So we need to go to the system config for the interface. So we say config system interface, and then we choose port 1. We say edit port 1, and then we can provide an IP address, and we can say set IP and set IP. So the IP we're given is 10. Let me use the numlock 10.1.1. Let's give it 100/24. Okay, set IP. Okay, yeah. So we need to change first from dynamic set mode static. When we do that, now it's changed, and then now we can provide the IP set IP that 100. If we now say show, it tells us it's static and it has that IP address. That's fully configured. We can now leave the interface or even the command line and go to the port. So the web UI, if we get this page, and if we provide the IP 10.1.1.100, that should take us to the GUI. Okay, so that loads the page, and if we continue, Then it takes us to the login page. Okay, this is now asking me to activate the trial license. So I have an account which I shown you in the first video when we are downloading the VM image. But before that, we need to make sure this has connectivity. And what we have done in the previous video, when we were creating the policy, we created a NAT for this subnet. So this subnet can actually reach the internet. So the first thing we need to do is to make sure this device can reach the internet. So for this to happen, we need to set up the default gateway for the port 1. So if you go to the system root, so we say config system root. Now we're in the root, and then we have to edit. So you have a serial order like 0, 1. So if we start number 0, it's a new entry edit. Then 0, we need to set the device port 1. That's the interface we're creating the default gateway for. So we need to add now the default gateway. So set gateway, and then we provide the gateway here is 10.1.1.115, and that's the IP from the FortiGate firewall. And when you provide that, then you say end. So that's now set up. So if you say show system interface and interface port 1, now you see we have the IP address set. We have SSH, HTTPS, and ping allowed. So let's go to that interface and go to the GUI. Now, before we do that, actually, let's ping google.com and yeah, execute ping google.com. We didn't configure the DNS. We have the default gateway. Yeah, that's fine. So we have access to the internet. The next thing we do is connect to the portal, and that's the portal. So here we are. I'm providing my username, password, and when I key in that, it will take me to my portal. Download the license, or if you have the file, then you can say activate license, and then it asks you registration code and IP address. I have the free trial license, so I want to provide those details, and then I'll show you the next step. So I provided my username, password, and then it asks me to accept the license agreement, and that's good. So now it takes me the portal. Okay, so that logged me in, and we wait until the registration is applied. Okay, system restarted. It took really long, about 20 minutes, but this window is stuck. So I'm going to refresh. Now we can log in. Okay, so these are just a guideline to show you what to do next. We can do all this later. This is your management server or the FortiManager. So up and running. So the rest of the configurations we will do in another video. Thank you for your time, and see you in another video.